Now it's time for my take on one of the biggest issues that trended on X this week. President Trump delivered his unofficial State of the Union address. It was superb, in my opinion. He focused on what mattered. He spoke to the American people, relatably and authentically, and he highlighted real-world examples of courage and hope, the kind of qualities America was founded on.
Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth.
He did so in front of the most petulant, petty, and pathetic bunch of so-called Democrats potentially in history. And he rightly annihilated each and every one of them on more than one occasion. They slept, texted, walked out. One was booted, sat and scowled during the most moving of moments. It was utterly shameful. For a party that shares its name with democracy and that argue President Trump is a threat to it, they did a mighty fine job themselves of trying to completely destroy any semblance of it. They yelled, "He has no mandate." They refused to respect the office he holds and was overwhelmingly elected to, by the way, the exact same things they accuse him of doing and tried to destroy him for. The hypocrisy is mind-blowing. If your hate for Donald Trump is greater than your love for a little boy fighting terminal brain cancer, then you have serious issues. Speaking of, MSNBC's Rachel Maddow with this take on little DJ, who was made an honorary member of the Secret Service.
This is disgusting. The president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who's thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that.
How deranged one must be to take this angle. Seriously. Did anyone watching think for a second, even a millisecond, that Donald Trump was trying to take credit for curing cancer? Not one person. He was using real-life examples of courage, strength, determination, and empathy to try and bring a country together. And yes, demonstrate why his government is making life better for the people who elected them to office. That's the point. To remind everyone of what matters. To bring a little joy, a little respite. How could anyone not have enjoyed DJ's joy, that face? It got even worse though. Hard to imagine, huh? Same network, Nicole Wallace, with this appalling contribution.
I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
The president could have made the whole thing about him, and the same sad sacks would have annihilated him for it. But instead, he dedicated the vast majority of his speech to everyday Americans. Those doing it tough, those suffering, those well and truly deserved of being made to feel just a little bit special for a moment. And the Democrats tried to ruin that just to hurt Trump. They had a real opportunity during these powerful moments to attempt to galvanise, support and demonstrate unity. Instead, they capitulated. They waved ping-pong paddles with dumb slogans like whiny sulks. They embarrassed themselves and the giants of the party who came before them. If their plan was to remind every American how low they've sunken as a party and how miserably far away they are from ever being in a position to form power again, then job well done. Tick. If they thought the antics would be viewed favourably by their own side, wrong again. They brought shame not just onto Democrats everywhere, but to the very office they pretended to swear an allegiance to. But, as always, credit where it's due. We often lament how fake politicians are, how they hide who they are and hide the truth. Well, you, Democrats, allowed the entire world to witness your inane stupidity and moral shortcomings for all to see on the global stage. And for that, I'm grateful. And long may it last, so the world has continued hope beyond 2028. I'm Erin Molan. That's another week of 69X Minutes. Thanks to the IBC Group for making this all possible. Thank you, most of all, for watching. Send us your stories. Keep up to date. Don't ever leave X. It's all you need to know. See you next week.